Welcome, dear children, to yet another discussion. Today, we will discuss about the beginning and end or the concluding part of your compositions. Besides, we shall also study and deal with the different types of compositions. Well, let's begin with the beginning. Although we shall be discussing the beginnings when we are discussing each type of compositions in detail. But of course, when you begin to write, first problem that you face is how to begin. And beginning is very important because if your beginning is not interesting, naturally it makes a negative impact, negative impression on the person. While when it is interesting, it makes the person, it makes the examiner, it makes the reader to read it further. Then that goes for conclusion also. If your conclusion is weak, conclusion is not actually a conclusion sort of thing, but the last paragraph, as you may say, because I never say that there should be an introductory paragraph, there should be a concluding paragraph. It is nothing like that. But when you end the things, it should be complete. It should not be incomplete. So the completion part is called the concluding paragraph. Now, when you are concluding the things, any type of composition, whether it is narrative, whether it is your descriptive or any other types, it should have that completeness. Because when completeness is not there, then what happens? It does not sound good. It brings that something is missing. And when something is missing, do you think that all that work that you have done for your layout, for your bringing up your essay or your composition, and if it ends with a weak point or a weak conclusion or a weak lines, all your hard work won't be that successful. So, beginning as well as conclusion, even I would say, even the whole content, even the layout is important. All the three should be very strong. Although we don't define these three things in the sense that we don't write introduction, we don't write the body of the composition or a concluding. It is not at all like that. Things have changed. It's an obsolete way that were sometime followed, but not at all now. Now you have different ways, interesting ways, original ways, creative ways of beginning your essays, beginning your compositions. Well, you have some points in your book. We shall discuss each a little bit and then we move on like point wise, and then we move, once we have discussed one point, we move on to the next. Now, children, first of all, when your essay begins with something like, you say, everything has two sides, pros side and con side, or all the coin has everything has advantages and disadvantages, or in today's world, nowadays people think like this, earlier they were thinking like that. These are very, very outdated. Or when you start defining things, suppose it's say on the lifestyles and changes, then you go on to write what is life, what had life been way back in the somewhere in the when the people were when the human beings evolved, and from that time you bring to this modern times and all, and then you start. All this is useless. This will not make any impact, any good impact. Okay, so please do away with all these type of beginnings. Your beginnings should always be such that it should imbibe, it should bring the curiosity to know further. Now, how can you develop that? How can you bring that in your composition? That is what we need to discuss today. Well, You can begin with questions. Put up a question, like in your book it says, who says that India is a poor country? Or let us take the present example. Who says India will not be able to cope up with COVID? Now, this is a good thing. One would want to know, what are your views? What are your points? Okay, so such beginnings with the questions are very interesting. Okay, so it's not that you need to answer immediately, or the questions are such that it imbibes interest, it develops interest for the reader, for the examiner to know what happened next. So you can begin with a question, or it could be make use of the surprise attack or shock tactics. Now, what is this shock tactics and surprise elements? Like you have in the book, this particular line, all criminals should be hanged. Oh my goodness. When the examiner would read it, he will find, oh, this person is very cruel, or what? How, what does he say? Then you can go on to say, this could be the opinion of some, but I go against it. Okay, so you can just change it, but you bring that shocking element, you bring that surprise attack, isn't it? Education does more harm than good. You can say, somebody would say, education does more harm than good. Now, this would, who would believe this, that education does more harm? You can continue with your line, one who thinks like this, that is the greatest of the fools ever born on this earth. But you have started with that surprise, with that shocking element. So that brings interest. So it could be like this, or it could be try to use your words to build in the atmosphere, isn't it? Like when you watch a movie, horror movie, how does it begin? You must have seen those horror movies. The opening is very exciting, and there's a door that opens. Then there are so many, bats that fly past, and then there's a black cat that almost jumps on you. So you know what? It's describing that, or do you want to actually want to tell that something wrong, something evil is going to happen. So building in an atmosphere, that also is a very wonderful, very interesting way of beginning your uh, essays, beginning your compositions. For example, you are if it is about the travel, it could be that I was sleeping and suddenly I was woken up by a loud thud, and I could feel that warm liquid like thing on my with my hands, and I could feel it running over my face. It was very dark, somehow able to grab my mobile, and before I could understand it was an accident, there was yet another loud bang. What are you doing? You are making it interesting. You have built in an atmosphere. One could actually feel that it's what is going to happen next, or would want to read further how you dealt with it, what happened, what is that warm thing. Okay, so you can say further that I switched on my mobile, and to my horror, I realized that warm liquid that I could face on my face was blood oozing out of my shoulder that got hurt. It's something felt so hard on it. Now I started feeling pain as well. And then the next thought that started running in my mind was how to get out of it. I had realized by this time that it was an accident, train accident, and I was the part of it. Well, This is how you could bring or begin your composition. So this is building an atmosphere. Okay, then goes for the next, begin with an witty idea, or it could be a phrase or something like, in romantic life, two is a company, three a crowd. Now I think you teenagers would understand this line better. Or it could be, someone in the group are wise, the rest otherwise. So, you know what? You have brought that wit, a humor in your beginning. Then it could be simply plunging directly, as I often prefer and often advise my students that plunge directly into the topic. That's the easiest mode, children, easiest way where you don't do much of thinking, and you can bring your creativity, you can bring your imagination and your originality there. You don't have to rely on simple this tactic and that tactic. Okay, so it could be plunged directly into the subject of the composition, whatever the topic is, just go for describing. If it is about describe the morning hours, you could say that yes, I woke up at 5 and I'm a usual early riser, and so it is not difficult for me to describe the morning hours. So you can go ahead with your description, a simple, easy way of plunging directly into the topic. Or you could use some quotations if you remember. But one thing very important about the quotation, children, is first of all, quotation should be in inverted commas. When you are quoting somebody, it should be in inverted commas, like it is here by John Milton, that they also serve who only stand and wait. Now you could, this particular line, inverted commas. And whoever has quoted, the name should be there. Now, this is where some children try to play smart. Now, what do you mean by playing smart? That they quote anything and they just put the name of someone, some known person there. Children, don't try to be that smart. We are into another world where Google Baba is there. So, immediately the examiner will Google it out and will come to know that you have written a wrong quote. Until and unless you know the quotes exactly in complete verbatim, please do not quote it. Okay. Besides, too many quotes in your essay also is not advisable. Okay. It should be used very prudently and in the correct place. Keep this in your mind. Okay, then it could be begin with a cliffhanger so that the reader asks, the reader will say, why? What happened? So, what is this cliffhanger? Have you seen a person hanging on the cliff and you are all aghast? What will happen next? What will happen next? So, this is called a cliffhanger. Now, how can you begin with such essays? Like, he was standing alone, vomiting blood. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with him? What happened? Okay, so this is called a cliffhanger. You can use such sentences also, or such. See, whatever it is, it depends on the topic. So, according to the topic, you should be prudent enough to use your beginning. Well, all the more, what is required is your originality, using your prudence and choosing the best that would interest the reader to read it. Now, your next point in this, the 8th point, is begin with an anecdote. Okay. Now, when you are beginning with an anecdote, keep it in your mind, children. Anecdote is a small story that sends a message, that conveys a message or a moral. That is called an anecdote. So, when you are beginning your essay, or even in the middle of the essay, if you want to give one example, Now that example should be mentioned in hardly 2, 3, 4 sentences, not more than that. See, you have the limitation of the word 300 to 350 words. So if you start just giving an example through a story, through a story, and that story tends to be half your page, almost 100 to or 150 words, then where are the words left for your further point for your essays? So be prudent enough. Your anecdote should be hardly 30 words or 40 words. Within those 30-40 words, you should be able to put your anecdote. Okay, a small story to give an example, like if you are telling about the something, the hard work and all, then you tell quote or is expressed that Tendulkar at the age of 14 used to sleep, used to drink, used to think everything, and he was dedicated, and you want to quote a certain incident from Tendulkar's life, so that should only be mentioned in just 30 or 30 or 35-40 words. Do not do not write an anecdote that is bigger than that, because you have to save your words for your further discussions, for your essays. Okay, now all these points you have to keep your mind when you are beginning with your essays. Different types of essays will require different types of beginning. You will be deciding what is suitable for you. Okay, now we move on to the different types of composition. See, the compositions are broadly divided into factual composition and imaginative composition. Okay, now before that, you must be thinking that I did not go for the conclusion. I had already mentioned about the conclusion, children, that conclusion should be the one that depicts completion. Okay, so that is the only point for how you should be concluding. Now we move on to the next, that is the types of composition, categorized into two: factual composition and imaginative. Under this imaginative composition, you have your story types, you have your narrative, you have your descriptive, you have your argumentative, and your picture composition. Besides, it could be character based, it could be requiring your some personal experience also. So we call it as characters and personal types of composition. Although we will be dealing with each type elaborately in separate videos, but let me just explain it in short. What are the different types and how? Now see, children, in the factual, as the word says, you have to write exactly. You cannot go for any decorative words or any imagination there. It is fact, as the word goes, like writing about how you make a website, okay, or how you mend your bicycle, puncture in your bicycle. Now, do you think that you can disturb it, you can unnecessarily put some imaginations into it while you're explaining? Not at all. You cannot do that in this. So the factual essay goes for writing exactly the correct procedures. Okay. Then comes your imaginative writing or creative writing, that goes for almost all the types that you get for your board examination. So it calls for the original way of looking at and feeling things. Now, what is this imaginative writings? Now, imaginative writing, of course, calls for your creative, your original way of thinking and looking and observing things and describing it and putting it in your words. Okay, now we go for the narratives. What are the different types of narratives? It is when you write about the different wedding festivals that you might have attended, or some accidents, some journeys. You may be asked to narrate a real story or imaginary. Now that is all up to you, whether you may be writing a imaginative one, it may be a real one, but because you have experience, you are able to write it in a better way. Or if it is asked that you write a real one, you might not have faced it, but you narrate it in such a way that it appears to be a real one. Then comes your descriptive. Now in this type, you may be asked to write about a person. It could be about an object, about a place, about a time, about different scenes. So you have to use all that you have observed, of all that you have felt, your feelings, what you saw, what you felt, what you heard, what you smelled, all that, and you have to create vividness there. Okay, then comes your argumentative. Now here, argumentative is usual is that you have to take a stand with your point. Like for example, capital punishment cannot be justified. Now you may say no, it can be justified. Another says no, it cannot be justified. Okay, so do you agree that it cannot be justified? You said no, I don't agree that it cannot be justified. Another would say no, I agree that it can be justified. Okay, so it is how you take the stand. Then comes your, depends on the story writing, you may be provided with the beginning of a story or an end, and you have to create a story with those particular words. You have to further the story, or you may require to end the story with that. Then comes your character based, where you may be asked to describe a particular character of your choice, a particular person or somebody whom you like, or in your stories you have some character based descriptions. Or it could be, see, characters are, it could be a part of your even other type of essays, descriptive also and narrative also, where you may be asked to describe, or it would bring better of the story of your composition if you give a little character sketch. Then your personal writings, writing about, it could be autobiographical, it could be biographical also in the nature. Like for example, the best years of your life. So now it is based on your personal experience and your personal choices and observation and experience. So all this types of compositions we shall be discussing in separate videos also, one by one, and that will be discussed in detail with examples. Please children, keep on writing the compositions that you have been asked, 3 compositions per week, and reminding you, please do not forget. Thank you. God bless you.